Welcome to the Ultimate Sport Gist, where we bring you the latest and the most exciting updates from the world of sport. Today, we've got a packed show with thrilling stories. But first off, let's move to Borussia Dortmund, who parted ways with the head coach Sahin following a disappointing defeat to Bologna on Tuesday night, as the club looks to make a fresh start. And also we got Novak Djokovic in the news, who pulls off yet another remarkable comeback to stun Carlos Alcaraz and storm into the Australian Open semi-finals. Yeah, defying injury to keep the Grand Slam dreams alive. Yeah, but meanwhile in the transfer world, we got Chelsea's, they're busy this month, and we got Wesley Fofana, who's returning to training after a long injury layoff. Also, we got rumors swell around Anthony's potential loan move to Real Betis, and we got Marcus Rashford in the news, the growing links between Marcus Rashford and Barcelona. So we also dive into the latest news from Arsenal, where Ethan Nwaneri and Ricardo Calafiori, they're back in training. Yeah, you heard me, they're back in training. Although there are concerns over William Saliba's hamstring injury. Plus, we've got updates on the future of Chelsea's defenders and all that. And also, Man City is in the news. They got Kusanov and Victor Reyes, who has just joined the club, as Pep Guardiola is facing key squad decisions. And also, I want you to still stay tuned with me as I break down all these stories and more on today's show. They call me Paul Igwewaya Elei, but you can call me Emani. Let's rumble and roll. Welcome back. All right. I got you. Borussia Dortmund have dismissed head coach Nuri Sahin following a 2-1 defeat to Bologna in the Champions League. He was appointed in June 2024. You know, Sahin, after a couple of poor run of results, with the team securing just one in their last 9 matches, while Dortmund remain in a strong position in the Champions League. Like they're in a position to still make it advance to the next round of the Champions League, but their domestic form has been disappointing, leading to the decision to part ways with Nuri Sahin. But Nuri Sahin has expressed his regrets over not meeting the club's sporting ambitions, and Dortmund is currently 10th in the Bundesliga and 20 points behind the leaders Bayern Munich, and they suffered an early exit from the DFB Pokal as well. So an emergency meeting was held to finalize the decision, and although no replacements yet has been named. We have so many names who have been linked to the job. We have Eric Ten Hag and others who have been linked to the job as well. But we wish our man Nuri Sahin better days ahead. Yeah. All right, for Djokovic battles through injury to shock Alcaraz in Melbourne. Novak Djokovic pulled off another remarkable comeback to defeat Carlos Alcaraz in a thrilling match, securing his spot in the Australia Open semi-finals. Yeah, you heard me. The 37-year-old Serbian overcame injury, age, and the ranking to secure a 4-6, 6-4, 6-3, 6-4 victory over the 21-year-old rival right there in Melbourne. Djokovic, who's aiming for a record-extending 11th men's single title, hobbled around Rod Laver Arena at the end of the first set due to an issue with his upper left leg. Yeah, you heard me. However, after receiving the treatment off court, he made an impressive recovery and continued his pursuit of a 25th Grand Slam title right there, which will set an all-time record in the men's single game. Now, for Djokovic, he played with so much aggression until the pain subsided, allowing him to move more freely and take control of the match. Yeah, you get me? So, Man defeated Carlos Alcaraz to move to the semi-final, and the Spanish third seed Alcaraz grew more frustrated as he struggled to regain his momentum after leading the first set. and it was a thrilling the contest was thrilling from the beginning to the end. When Djokovic secured victory at about, I think, close to 1 a.m. in the local time right there in Melbourne, after 3 solid hours and 38 minutes of play, he let out a triumphant roll towards his coach Andy Murray. Yeah, you remember Andy Murray? Yeah, who was like a competitor against Djokovic, now becoming a coach of Djokovic. That's fantastic in the world of tennis right there. Following the highly anticipated match, both Djokovic and Alcaraz shared a warm embrace at the net. Like, there was all love and respect right there after the match. The loss now puts an end to Alcaraz's hopes, at least for now, of becoming the youngest man to achieve a career Grand Slam. But I think he's just 21 and he still got time, But meanwhile, for Djokovic, he's moved on to the semi-finals, where he will meet the German second seed Alexander Zverev on Friday. You should stick around for that. Stick around with me and I'll give you more news about that. Now let's move straight to football. The news in football, let's go straight to our Chelsea Football Club, where Wesley Fofana is back training on the grass at Chelsea's Cobham facility. Yeah, focusing on the individual exercises and all that, the £75 million defender is expected to make a return before this season ends, according to the Daily Mail. Yeah, he's back. Fofana is back, man. I think Chelsea fans should be happy about this news. So for Fofana's history of injuries got the Chelsea faithful very worried, and now that he's shaking off the injury and is back, but Chelsea don't want to rush his recovery because of his history with injury. So I think with time, we're going to see Wesley Fofana back in action. Club is optimistic he will be ready to contribute during their season run-in. Since he joined from Leicester, Fofana's career has been marred by injuries. He featured in just only 15 Premier League games during the 2022-2023 season and missed the entire of 2023-2024 campaign. You can say that again, man is the injury lord. Okay, for Christopher Nkunku's, one of the biggest news coming out from the Chelsea camp, Christopher Nkunku's potential transfer from Chelsea to Bayern Munich is currently stalled. Yeah, you get me? Chelsea are keen for the forward to remain at the club and will only consider letting him go if Bayern Munich are going to meet their 70 million euros valuation. Yeah! Before allowing the move, Chelsea would also need to secure a world-class replacement for Christopher Nkunku. Bayern Munich, and along with 2 Premier League clubs, are shown some interest in the player. Christopher Nkunku is reportedly frustrated with his lack of regular playing time in the Premier League. I think with his sight in the World Cup coming up in 2026, he has all the right in the world to be frustrated for having like a minimal time in the Chelsea first team right there. So we have more transfer news from Chelsea. We're still sticking with Chelsea right here. For Chelsea, we got Garnacho in the news, we got Sarr in the news, and we also got Vlahovic in the news. Yeah. So Napoli and Chelsea are expected to make fresh attempts to sign Manchester United winger Alejandro Garnacho, according to the Daily Mail. Yeah. So, but Chelsea are poised to complete the signing of teenage defender Mamadou Sarr from Strasbourg, as it was reported by the Athletic. Yeah. So I think this news is going to excite the Chelsea faithfuls right there. They got defender, they got attacker coming into the ranks to boost the side. And Chelsea also are contemplating a move for Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic, following a couple of discussions to offload their defender Renato Vieira to the Italian club. I think that is going to be like a swap deal and some money involved in it, as it was reported by the Times earlier yesterday. And also in the news, we got Manchester United and Tony, who's set for a loan move to Real Betis. Yeah, Real Betis is in the news, and Tony is in the news. According to Sky Sport News, Manchester United winger Anthony is nearing completion of a loan move to Real Betis. A verbal agreement is in place, with no option or obligation included in the deal. Like there's no obligation to buy at the end of the loan deal, and the final details are being finalized before he undergoes a medical. So Anthony, he was signed from Ajax for approximately 85 million pounds in the summer of 2022. You heard? His contract, it runs from I think in 2022 it's supposed to run until 2027, with the club holding the option for an additional year, but I don't think there's any additional year after this loan spell. Man is taking he's calling it quit in Manchester United, probably go for another club abroad. And also we got Rashford in the news. For Rashford, his representatives, they met with Barcelona in Lisbon. Yeah, you heard me. So Marcus Rashford representatives had a meeting with Barcelona executives in Lisbon on Tuesday, prior to the Catalan Giants club's match against Benfica on Tuesday night. As it was reported earlier on Tuesday, Barcelona's and Rashford, I think Barcelona preferred Rashford in the left wing, and Rashford prioritized Barcelona as his destination. I think that's it's going to be like a perfect match for both, since they both prioritize each other. So I think it's one of the news that my eyes is on. I'm going to keep you posted if you stick around with me. And also Pep Guardiola is in the news. Manchester City is in the news. They just welcomed their new centre-back signings of Abdulkadir Kusanov and Victor Reyes to Manchester City ahead of the Champions League match, which is going to be against Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah, PSG. Guardiola expressed his pleasure at the signing. To me, I think they are fantastic signings in terms of the long term, their age and all that. So Guardiola was praising Kusanov's his physicality and also his potential. He also highlighting Reyes as a young talent, and also a Brazilian is going to be a great addition to the side. And also we got Arsenal in the news, and for Arsenal have received some boost right now with the return of Ethan Nwaneri and Ricardo Calafiori. They're back training ahead of their penultimate Champions League match against Dynamo Zagreb on Wednesday night. For Nwaneri, who was substituted at halftime, I think the game against Brighton sometime January 4th, in the draw against Brighton, he was substituted. And also for Calafiori, who had missed a couple of matches due to his muscle injury. And however, we heard that William Saliba, who was absent for training due to his hamstring issue, and also Ben White, who was also missing, they are also continuing with their recovery from the injury. And some of the Arsenal absentees for the long-term absentees include Bukayo Saka, who's out with injury, Gabriel Jesus of ACL, and Takehiro Tomiyasu, who are still nursing injury. Bro, that's a wrap for today's episode on the Ultimate Sport Gist with me, Paul Igwe LA, for the Past Second News Network podcast. From knowing Sahin sudden dismissal at Borussia Dortmund to Novak Djokovic defying injury and advancing in the Australian Open, it's been a week full of surprises and twists. You get me? We also covered the latest from Chelsea with big names like Fofana making return to training, and also transfer rumors swelling. We also gave you updates about Arsenal's injuries and the returnees from injury, with Pep Guardiola also welcoming new signings. And let's not forget the hot topics on the horizon with the moves like Anthony's potential loan move and Rashford links to Barcelona, who's making all the headlines all over the world. So I want you to stay tuned, keep following the action, and don't miss our next episode as we continue to bring you all the latest sport, the news, and the insights. This is the Ultimate Sport G Show with your man, Paul Igwe LA, but you can call me Amani, and I rep PSN Podcast. All things considered right here. We'll be back with more. Peace.